Alright, boys and girls, today we're going to make this elephant, and we're going to sketch it out with pencil, and then we're going to go over it with marker. Later we'll do some details with pencil and marker. This is just going to be our rough draft and practice. We're going to do the best we can with this, okay? So first you're going to start out with a pencil, and you want to be spacing out the page and thinking about where on the page you're going to be starting. You want to use up most of this page, so you're going to be trying to draw it across the page, but also leaving room on the sides. Right now you're drawing the ears, and the ears span across his head. So this is the ear distance that you're drawing. It comes down to a little V right here, and then you're going to draw two little notch marks right here, and that's going to be where you're going to be drawing the distance for the ears. So then these are two diagonal lines, and we're just going to draw this line across to kind of show right about where his eye is going to be starting. And then these two lines come down. Remember, light sketch lines. And these are going to eventually, it's going to be the trunk. Okay? So we're going to continue to draw this like a circle, like just think this is behind him, and it's this overlapping line of his head. So this is his body. Then we're going to draw a slightly angled line here. This line will be straight, and it's going to end at a plane right about here, and then the leg that's coming down is going to stop a little bit higher so that it shows that he's walking and shows kind of that distance back there. Okay, now we're going to draw the knees. So they're in the same spot, but they're just they kind of come out on the sides. And then you're going to want to kind of bring out his feet a little bit, making those elephant feet that kind of come out and down, and then they curve right along down on the bottom. Now we're going to want to take some lines and kind of round out the different features of his legs. So we're going to make this line that kind of zooms out and kind of comes around on both legs. Just kind of gives a little more depth to those legs. And again, the elephant isn't fat, he's just big. He's a very big, large creature. So we're just kind of making kind of come out just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to bring down these lines a little bit from, we made these little two corners, so now we're kind of coming down, and that's going to be the shape of his face. So after you have really the shape of the face, then you can take your eraser. So go ahead and grab your eraser right now, and then you're going to want to start erasing these middle lines. Now you're going to want to grab your black drawing pen and we're going to start tracing or kind of making more of the elephant. So now we're going to add a little bit of depth to his head. We're going to round it off at the top, and then we're going to start creating his face. So we're going to start bringing our black pen down a little bit. Remember, you want to curve those lines. You don't want it to be straight, so see how I'm kind of curving the lines? You're going to want to curve the lines there. Then we're going to draw lines that are coming inwards from the face. These are going to be the beginning of where his tusks are, and then it kind of comes down to this point. So again, we're kind of curving these lines, and then now we're going to curve in and make the trunk. As you're coming up for the second line, kind of come up a little bit, and then come all the way around and circle like a spiral. Now add some depth right here, and add little lines that kind of come up to show his trunk. Then we're going to be drawing the tusks. They come down from the edge of like right around the corner, underneath the corner of his trunk right here. I don't know what this is called. I think this is all part of his trunk. So they kind of come to the side and they circle in. Then just kind of round it off here, and then that is where you're going to have his face. Now you're going to start erasing. So get your eraser and erase the parts that I'm erasing. I'm going to erase most of it. I'm going to leave his ears with the pencil line for now because I'm going to round those off too. But just kind of erase the lines that you think you're not going to need anymore. Now you're going to round the top of the ears. So you're just going to kind of round at the top, and then the lines pretty much follow that straighter line that you made earlier, but then instead of going straight down, they're going to curve in. So just continue to use your pen. Now we're going to bring our pen around the body. We're going to bring it around the legs, and you're also going to want to erase these knees right here once you kind of come over around that line. Okay, now you're going to add some details for his nails, and then you're also going to add a little bit of lines right there on his knees. Okay, and then maybe just a little accent right there. We'll shade it in a little bit later. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to draw his eyes. So you're going to want to think about that imaginary line going across, and it's going to be on the side of his face. Please draw the light of the eye on either side of the eye. Here we picked the right. So color that in. And then I like to add a little bit of more depth by drawing some lines right there. Lions have a lot of wrinkles and texture to their skin. So we're just going to add a little bit of that right now. We can go into more detail later. Now I'm going to start some shading. So I'm going to use my black pen. You can certainly use this as well. And then I think it does get pretty dark. So I am just shading underneath where, if the light was shining down on my elephant, where would the shadows be? Where would the darkness be? So I'm just kind of finding underneath the underneath areas. Um, and then I think I'm going to soften it with a little pencil. So you can use pencil to shade if you'd like, or black. You can kind of experiment with it. Remember, you want to start at the darkest where the shadow is, where the biggest part of the shadow is, and then it kind of lightens from there. So I'm just going ahead and shading a little bit, and I like to kind of shade inside the ears right here. Just kind of going, making it really dark in the middle and kind of coming down, whoops, on the sides. By his face, it's a little bit darker. So I'm gonna let you continue kind of playing around with this. And then we're gonna add on some details if the elephant was in India and how it would be painted. So now I'm just gonna add some details. You can play around with this if you want. Again, this is just practice for when we do our final draft. I'm gonna do some little diamonds. You can do some different designs. Remember, it's gonna go over his trunk. You can do little dots, and then if you like, you can color it in with some markers. Just experiment with colors, experiment with shapes. They do have designs all down their trunk and on top of their head. So just kind of have fun with it and experiment today. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see your drawings. And we'll go a little more detail in this next week. And these are going to be super awesome and fun. And I hope you enjoyed drawing an elephant. Elephants are difficult to draw, as any four-legged creature is, and I hope you enjoyed and made an awesome elephant today. All right, I will see you guys soon. Bye.